there is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
Love y'all, boys. Love you. Love you. I go to war with every single one of you, every fucking game, all right? Love you, 1-7. Here we go! 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3! Win!
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have me douse, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 It's showtime.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree to the TOP from the 313. And normally I would say, and by my side is my main man, my toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey, and he'll be here in an hour, but I might as well go ahead and say it anyways. What up, Bills Mafia? Happy Friday to you. I hope your week has been good. Mine's been all right. I'm tired. I'm just tired. Tired of the bullshit that's going on in Buffalo. I'm tired of work, tired of a lot. But Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait, guys, for Thanksgiving. I wish I had family here so I can go to a Thanksgiving home-cooked meal. But as a tradition that I like to do here is go to Golden Corral for my Thanksgiving dinner. Me, myself, and I. So that's what I'll be doing this Thanksgiving, which is fine. I do it every year for the past, 5 years. All good, man. All good. So anyways, let's get to some of your guys' comments real quick here. Let's see here. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me put some background music on here for me. Perfect. All right. Prison Mike in the house. Go Bills. Go Bills. By the way, love that name. I call my co-host Mikey Prison Mike sometimes. So, love it. Y'all know. And by the way, you know what's funny? Mikey didn't even get the reference. So, because he's never watched The Office. I told him, dude, you got to watch The Office. At least the first 5 seasons, 4 or 5 seasons. Bro, that was one of the funniest shows, those 4 or 5 seasons. What up, Trek Reviewer? How you doing, brother? Nomad Chad, Tommy to the highest degree to the TOP. What up, bro? What up, man? Yeah, man. From the 313. That's right. So, guys, man, I told you guys last week, pregame actually was asked by my main man, Cali Blitz, came in the chat and asked me, if the Buffalo Bills lose to the Miami Dolphins, are you hitting the panic button? And I was truthful, like I always am. And I said, yeah, I probably am. And I'll hold true to that, man. I have hit the panic button. This season here has not gone the way that I predicted. That this season has not gone good for the Buffalo Bills. Even though we're 6-3, there's just a lot going wrong with this team. Even though we're 6-3, and it's concerning, super concerning. And I'm going to get into that tonight. And I don't know if you guys saw here, and you haven't because I haven't put it down. Here's the ticker for tonight. And right there, right there. Brady may be the Bills' biggest problem on offense. Joe Brady, that is. And I got to digging on our good old Joe Brady and his past, right? And I'll be honest with you guys, I never looked up Joe Brady's past, like meaning articles that were written about him, why he was fired from Carolina, etc. And I mean, I knew where he came from. I knew the places he's been, but I never really followed up and you know, read articles and on reasoning why. And it's concerning. It's super concerning because the same things we're seeing today from Joe Brady is the same things that he was doing in Carolina. And the reason why he was fired, right, in Carolina. And I'm going to read them to you. And it's alarming. It really is truly alarming. Robert Wilson in the house. Mikey will be here, by the way, at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Mikey will be joining us at 9 o'clock. So, about another hour? Mr. Fulton, the most interesting man in the chat. Hello, Tommy. I got good news and some bad news. The good news, I'm going to physical therapy. Bad news, I'm getting knee surgery on Monday, December 8th, and Friday, December 5th. All right, the 5th and 8th. Okay, keep up. Oh, man, that sucks, dude. Knee injuries are brutal. So, yeah, prayers are for you, buddy. Are with you, actually, and I hope the best. I hope for speedy recovery. All right, Steve, do you think 6-3 would be less painful if the Patriots were not 9-2? I remember being 6-6 a couple years ago, but was not worried at all. Okay, Steve. So I do remember that. That was in 2023. That was the year we fired. Excuse me. When we fired Ken Dorsey, and yeah, things were not going good then. And I remember me and Mikey were concerned. Of course, we should be concerned. We just lost to Denver. We just fired our OC. So yeah, it kind of has that feeling to it a little bit. And you got to remember, Miami was leading the division at the time, I think, by, I want to say, a couple games. So, I mean, yeah, the Patriots are up right now, but there's still a chance for the Bills to take over, or at least take back that spot. But right now, realistically, I'm looking at it just getting the playoffs at this point, because that's a tough ask considering how the Patriots are playing, right? The Patriots are beating teams they're supposed to beat. The Buffalo Bills aren't. That is one of the biggest things that's going on this season with the Buffalo Bills. They're not beating the teams they're supposed to beat. And the Miami Dolphins loss, that was just a shit show, a pathetic loss. Not that the other ones wasn't pathetic, right? Losing to the Falcons, right? That was pathetic on prime time. But I think the Dolphins just absolutely working us. And we've owned that team for a long time. And it's not like the Dolphins are having this great season this year. They're a pretty bad ball team, right? Up until that point, they had 2 wins, right? They were 2-7. So yeah, and then the players coming out saying they wanted it more. The Dolphins wanted it more than we did, and that was more than just one or two. That was multiple players saying that the Dolphins wanted it more, which is crazy. That's just crazy to me that the Bills players said that, they believed that, and obviously it showed that, right? So things got to change. So to really answer your question there, I don't know if I'm worried, but I definitely would say I hit the panic button after that loss to the Dolphins. I still think we could turn it around. I still think we're a good team, right? As long as you got Josh Allen, I still feel like things can get better, right? Things could turn around, but we got some real concerns. I'm going to dive into them tonight, and really it's Joe Brady. The defense, guys, at this point, I told you guys pretty much the start of the season, I've all but given up on the defense, right? This is all about the offense and what the offense can do. This team's only going to go as far as Josh Allen and the offense can take it, to be honest with you. You've seen now the losses that we've had where the offense is just terrible, the defense still, and I'm not even saying they played god-awful, but they're not good enough to be the crutch, right? They're not good enough to say, hey, we know that you guys are playing some bad ball today. We got your back. We're gonna hold this team to, under 10 points, right? The Ravens held the Dolphins to 6 points the week before. So why couldn't we hold the Dolphins to under 10, right? I'm just saying. And I'm not blaming the defense. I'm just saying we don't have that type of defense. So, once again, this team will only go as far as the offense can take it. Let's get to some of your chats here. I don't want to get too behind, so give me 1 second. Truck Reviewer, the Bills have never had good luck dealing with guys named Brady. Right? It's a great point. It's a great point. Kevin, sorry, Tommy, but this is what McDermott wanted. He made sure Bean was on board, getting rid of Diggs. He made sure the defense and the offense was to McDermott's vision. Kevin, I'm with you. Like, I'm not even saying I see that differently than you do. I actually agree with that take. I've said that probably for the last, I don't know, 4 seasons, that McDermott wanted a certain type of offense. And that was the reason why him and Brian Daboll clashed. And once Brian Daboll left, McDermott was able to switch things over to how he wanted to. Because he wasn't going to get that from Daboll. You got to remember, Daboll came from the outside, meaning it was a hire on the outside, right? So if you notice, everything's since then has been a hire within, right? So where McDermott could control his puppets, right? So McDermott's the puppet master, and if you don't like it, he'll cut the strings and you're gone. It doesn't matter. Well, with Daboll, he was already a seasoned vet. He was already a seasoned coach in the league. He's been around, done that. He wasn't going to take orders like that from McDermott. He's going to come in, do his offense, and they clashed. But look, at the end of the day, though, I get this is what McDermott wanted. However, you're the offensive coordinator. It's your responsibility to put it together. And if you couldn't do it, right, meaning you're just not capable of doing it, then you should have told Sean McDermott from the jump, that's not really the style I like to coach, right? I'm not comfortable with that. I'd rather not take the job. I know that's tough, right? I get it. He's in a tough predicament, but end of the day, he's looking really, really bad now. He's starting to look bad, that is, right? His first season went good, but once defense is kind of, all right, they saw the film, they understand how we're playing, they adjusted. He can't, it seems like. And here we are today talking about the offense. So I think Brady definitely has a big part of this, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. I'm gonna go through that in a minute with these articles that I have pulled up. Sophia, how did the Patriots come out of nowhere and just take over the AFC East? McDermott is not a championship coach. I'm just still bummed out. Yeah, and that tells you everything you need to know. How did Vrabel, right? First year there, right? Get a coaching staff as well, right? He had to build a coaching staff, and they're already looking like they're going to win the East in year one of that new coaching staff. It's wild. It tells you everything you need to know about coaching. Coaching makes a huge difference, major difference, and it's showing in New England. Clearly, it's showing in New England. So we'll see what happens with them. We still got a little bit to go, but I got to give credit where credit is due. The Patriots are doing things the right way. They're beating teams that they should beat, and that's why their record's 9-2. And our record's 6-3 because of the opposite. We're not beating the teams we're supposed to beat. Let's see here. Emmy. Mike Vrabel's Patriots can go to the Super Bowl on us last year as head coach. And they are still waiting for GM Bean Dip and head coach McStupid to get us there on year 8 with Josh frickin' Allen as quarterback. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Mike Vrabel Patriot can go to the Super Bowl on his first year as head coach. And here we are waiting on Brandon Bean and McStupid to get us through on year 8. It's actually year 9 of McBean and year 8 with Josh Allen. So unacceptable. I'm 100% with you. Totally unacceptable. You should have already made a Super Bowl by now. And I would feel a little bit more comfortable, even if they lost that Super Bowl, that they went, and then at least I would say to myself, well, they've been there. I think they can get back. It would give me a little bit more faith in this coaching staff, in Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott. Listen, I've defended Brandon Beane for a long time, right? A lot of people have been down on him for the last, I would say, 2 seasons, at least 2+. And I've been defending him. I still think he's a good GM. I still think he's done some good things here, but he's also done some really bad things. He's made some bad decisions. And this year, when he had the opportunity to change some things around, to add some help, right, when it was clearly needed, he chose to play hardball, and it backfired, and he got nothing. And I can't stand behind somebody that doesn't have the balls to pull the trigger. You have to in this league, and as a matter of fact, in any environment, if you're a general manager, you got to sometimes you got to take a detour. You got to get outside your comfort zone and take some chances, right? Because you never know, right? And this guy's, we're year 9 in, and we're doing this. We have the same outlook, or at least they do, and we're getting the same results year after year. It's like Groundhog Day, but it's Groundhog season for the Buffalo Bills. We're sitting here every offseason talking about why, what happened, what do we need? The draft's coming up. We need defense. We need this. Like, guys, it's the same shit. It's the same story. I'm here. I know. I'm the one that's covering them. I'm the one that's sitting here talking to you about it. And it's like rinse and repeat with this team. Roy, how you doing, brother, man? I almost think not making the playoffs could be a good thing for the Bills. Maybe then someone will wise up and get Josh Allen some real weapons. Be it Beane or someone else. Yeah, it's going to be Beane, right? They're not going anywhere. And hate to break the news to you guys, but McBean isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So I can sit here and complain and complain. You guys can sit here and complain and complain and complain. It doesn't matter. So that's kind of why I stopped making like Fire McDermott videos. And, I'm trying to dial back a little bit, best I can, on my McDermott rants. Because at the end of the day, there's only one guy who has that control. And it's Terry Pegula. And Terry Pegula seems just fine on how things are being operated at the current time. So I just don't see a change, guys. It would take multiple losing seasons for the Buffalo Bills or Terry Pegula to part ways with Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott. I just don't see it happening. And that's it sucks. It's not good. Delusional Patriots fan. If the Dolphins did want it more, why? That's a great question. That is a great fucking question. And I don't know. Why? Right. Why? Why would they want it more? What are they playing for? Pride at this point? Okay. I mean, fine. Sure. Pride for their coaching, for their head coach job, right? They feel bad for McDaniel. Okay. I mean, all right. I'll buy into that a little bit, but you're telling me the Buffalo Bills didn't want it more, knowing they're trailing the New England Patriots in the division and trying to get back on track to being a good football team and looking good and playing good, getting your confidence up, getting that mojo back, gearing up for the playoffs. You should want it way more, knowing all that is at stake. And instead, you go there and you play like shit. So, and then you come with that poor ass excuse that they wanted it more. So, and maybe they did. Clearly, they did. They absolutely dogged the Buffalo Bills, right? Absolutely, from start to finish. And really, honestly, guys, if you go back to the game, I didn't really even mention it too much. McDermott, our stupid ass head coach, is the one that started off that game, or started the ball rolling in that game, meaning downhill, right? Started the ball rolling downhill from that game. Because early on, right away, we get a turnover. Right away. I mean, momentum is already in our hand. We're like, yeah, baby. Right? And I'm sure a lot of Bills Mafia out there was like, oh, yeah. It's the start to the end. Here we go. We're going to drive. We're going to score a touchdown, right? We're going to stop them on their next drive, and we're going to just start piling up points. Here we go, baby. And instead, we don't go for it on a 4th and 1, 4th and a yard and a half, where we clearly could have picked it up, right? Clearly, right? Come on, man. You got to have faith in your team, in Josh Allen and your offensive line. I know Detroit would have went for that, right? I know Kansas City probably would have went for that. Baltimore probably would. Like, dude, it's 4th and 1. You're the better team. You're the more dominant team. Show your dominance right there. And in worst case, you don't get it. Okay, it is what it is. Play defense, right? So fucking Miami Dolphins. Instead, you punt the ball, and they drive 94 yards, score a touchdown. And guys, that set off the tone. They got the momentum right back, and it was just like, that's it. That was it, folks. That was the start to the end. And I blame that on McDermott for not having the balls, not having the trust in this team. Did you see Josh Allen go, like, let's do it. Let's go. Come on, man. Have faith in your quarterback. Have faith in your offensive line. You tell me you don't have faith to pick up 1 yard? 1 yard against a 2-7 team? Stop. Come on, man. And what good did it do? They scored a touchdown, 94 yards. You punted it. They scored a touchdown right away. So how great was that? Dude, I don't know. Maybe. At this point, man, I think any head coach can get us to the playoffs. So when people ask me, if we fire McDermott, who are we going to bring in, Tommy? Come on, tell me. Who are you going to bring in? Honestly, guys, that's a tough question because I don't know who's available. So as of right now, I can't answer that, right, for the people that love McDermott out there. But on the flip side, even if it was a guy I've never heard of in my life came in here, I promise you we would still be a 10-win team. 10, 11, 12. We would still make the playoffs, put it that way. What would the difference be if this guy was the same as Sean McDermott? Okay. Fire him after 3 years and get another guy in here, and hopefully he's the right guy. But I would hope that if they're going to fire McDermott, a playoff coach, because that's what he is, I'll give him his dues, that they're going to hire a coach they feel like can get us over that hump into the Super Bowl, right? A championship caliber head coach. Sean McDermott right now, in my eyes, and in a lot of people's eyes, actually, is not. Will we see the emerge of the Brady dildos? Possibly. If McDermott does not get rid of Brady, does the Bills brass get rid of McDermott? No. And I have a feeling the way McDermott is talking about Joe Brady this season in press conferences, he's going to probably get rid of him anyways. But more than likely what's going to happen is Brady's going to get an offer in college. I'm thinking college more than the NFL. I'm not saying he's not going to have head coaching calls, but I have a feeling he's going to go back to college, which maybe is his strong suit. I don't know. The puppet master needs to go. Yeah, I agree. Dable for head coach? Nah, I don't want Dable as head coach. As offensive coordinator, I wouldn't mind it now that we have a run game, now that we have an offensive line. I don't believe that Dable would just come here and be like, oh, it's time to air it out. I think Brian Dable would come here and be like, okay, I finally got a good offensive line where I could start running the ball a little bit, right? We didn't have that for him when he was here. So those that say that, oh, he would come here and it would be pass heavy. I don't know if I really believe that, because he did run the ball in New York. So there's that. Scott Blakely, how you doing, brother? Man, we got much improved. Not sure I can believe this season. Yeah, it's sad, man. And you know, like every season, you go into the season with high hopes, and you should. But you know, this team just drags us down with the constant disappointment. You know, the same old thing year after year. We're talking about the same bullshit when it comes to the Buffalo Bills, and that's why it's frustrating as a Bills fan because we all see it. Even the ones that were McDermott, the McDermott fan club, even a lot of them have jumped ship and are now going, man, you know what? This guy just can't do it, right? We need a change, right? We're year 9 in, and we're getting the same result. So the problem is we all see it, but the guy that makes the ultimate decision, he's clearly not seeing it the way we do. So that's why I said to you guys, it just ain't happening. Sophia, Tommy, did you see the new Peyton Manning and Josh video on getting rid of the Buffalo's curse? Yeah, it was pretty funny. They were throwing shit in the over the guardrail there. Yeah, pretty good. I liked it. Let's see here. What up, party people? Beth in the house. Tommy, my favorite host. How you doing, Beth? Glad to see you here. Let's see here. Kevin, Bean is following what McDermott wants. Absolutely. So, Kevin, that's why I'm not totally against Brandon Bean being fired. But the problem is they're tied to the hip. And I do believe McDermott pulls more of the strings than Brandon Bean does, which is usually not the way it goes. Usually the GM hires the coach, and this was the opposite. This was the coach hiring the GM. So who has real control here? You know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. Like the GM's job, by the way, so anybody that doesn't really truly understand what a GM does, at least for any team, NFL, NBA, MLB, they're going on what their coaching, what their coaches want, meaning what fits their scheme, what fits their system, right? They're not going to go and start drafting or signing free agents that are not what fit in their mold, right? They're just not going to do it. They're going to go after players that fit in their scheme, right? So all Bean's doing really is getting the ingredients, and it's up to Sean and company, meaning the rest of the coaching staff, to put it together, right? Here's the ingredients. You asked for them. Do your job, right? And clearly it's not been working, right? And I'm not saying Bean's perfect. Bean's not at fault. He's made some poor decisions. He absolutely has. He's made some good ones, but he's my biggest flaw with Brandon Bean, and it's been, has been him not stepping outside his comfort zone more often, right? He's done it a few times, the Stephon Diggs trade, the Von Miller signing, but it's far from in between, right? He just doesn't do it enough. He doesn't take a lot of chances, right, as a general manager. And we're year 9 in, and it's time to start taking more, especially when the results are the same. You keep getting the same results, folks. You got to switch things up. You have to, right? You can't keep going down the same road and getting a flat tire every day and hoping that eventually that road is cleared of the nails or whatever. Like, you're probably going to have to take some kind of detour at some point and go, look, I know this road's, the road I plan on going down every day to work, but dude, like, I'm getting some bad results here, right? Like, maybe I need to try a different path, right? And that's where I feel like Brandon Bean has been failing as a GM, right? You keep going down the same path, you keep making the same stupid mistakes, you keep getting the same flat tire, and you don't learn from it, right? It's just, it's not good. The end result's not going to be good. Roy, did you watch, Tom, did you watch PPP? You got called out by Keys. Goddamn Keys. No, I didn't. Dude, Roy, I was super duper tired, man. And yes, I used the word super duper. I'm showing my age. I was super duper tired. I work a 12-hour shift, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights, and I'm just exhausted the following day. And I mainly, honestly, guys, I just sleep, and then I get up at 4:30, 4:40, take a shower, go right back to work. I do it all over again. And, it sucks because today's Friday, it's my day off, but I'm sleeping, just killing away the day. And I just got up at 7:15, took a shower, came on here. So And I got work tonight. On top of that, I got to go and do the work at the bar tonight. But the good news is with that, speaking of that, next week is my last week at the bar. So this show will be back at 9 p.m., starting time at 9 p.m. So right now, obviously, we've been starting at 8, a little bit early. But after next week's show, after the 21st, that is, I'll be going back to 9 p.m. 9 to 11, whatever. The process, gotta trust the process. Gotta trust the process. Go back and look at that tape. Sorry, Jay has something going on as well. Yeah, the process. The process has gotten us so far. This team sucks. Buffalo, man, this team sucks. Same thing every year after year. Yeah. And I get it, guys. By the way, I understand your frustrations. I do. I'm not gonna look at this point. I'm gonna tell you, man, fan how you want to fan. Like, I can only be here telling you, you know, trying to make you feel a little bit better. That's all I can do. Robert coming in. Tommy, what is the difference between Dorsey and Brady's offensive schemes? To me, there is no difference in Dorsey and Brady's offensive scheme. The Bills' offensive scheme is McDermott. So, okay. So, actually, that's a little bit wrong, Robert. So, Dorsey's first year as offensive coordinator, it actually went well. We were a top 5 offense. We aired the ball out a lot more. It was the next season where I do believe McDermott, you know, talked to Dorsey in the offseason and wanted to really change things up from the Dable type offense. Because you got to remember, Dorsey was under Dable, right? Dorsey got promoted within. Obviously, you know, Dable left, Dorsey got promoted. And I still feel like Dorsey was kind of going off that playbook a little bit, I feel. But I also feel like Dorsey, you know, he's been around a while. He's a former quarterback. Joe Brady's not a former quarterback, right? Ken Dorsey was, you know, one of the best college quarterbacks at the time. You can't deny him that. He was on a team with the Hurricanes that was a fun offensive team. You know, dude, that was a great teams, those Miami Hurricane teams. So, yeah, I don't believe Ken Dorsey wanted it to be this, what you're seeing now, which is like kind of a vanilla type, you know, offense, you know, but I feel like it was kind of forced upon him. And once we drafted Kincaid and wanted to go to this 12 personnel, that was kind of pushed on him. And maybe he thought he could do it. And I feel like that's maybe on Brady too. Maybe he feels like McDermott said, hey, I want you to do this. And maybe they were willing to just, maybe they had confidence in themselves. So maybe they say, yeah, we could do it. We're offensive coordinators. We're bright. You know, we feel like we could do it. And they simply can't. And I'm going to get to it. I haven't even pulled up these articles yet. You guys are going to be like, holy shit. Let's see here. They keep playing scared. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about playing scared, but they're definitely they're playing down to their opponents as well, like for sure. It always be rinse and repeat on the coach. Yeah, until the coach is gone. I agree, Kevin. I do. It's sad. I hate. You know, that's why I'm telling you guys that. You know, look. At this point, for me, I love this team, right? Let me backtrack. I love the Buffalo Bills. My passion is for the Buffalo Bills. That's why I have a podcast covering the Buffalo Bills. That's all I do, right? Like, I don't do anything else on this channel. And that's never going to stop. And I believe a lot of you guys as well, even though you're frustrated, you're mad, your passion lies with the Buffalo Bills, or you want to be here, right? You want to be here, you know, pissed off talking about the Buffalo Bills. Clearly, you care, right? And you're going to continue to care, and you're going to continue to watch, even though you're pissed, even though maybe you even say, hey, this is my last year, I'm not going to watch again. You will. If you're a diehard Bills fan, you're going to continue to watch. So all I can tell you, at least for me, and I think Mikey said the same, is at this point, man, just we're just hoping for the best. Hoping for the best. What up, Mikey?
What's up, brother?
You're on a little bit early, aren't you?
I am. I got home a little bit early, so I figured I'd jump on.
Shit. I haven't even gotten to my articles yet about Joe Brady. I was going to do them and then ask you about him after, kind of, but good. I'm glad you're here because I haven't even gone through them yet. I'm just catching up with the chat a little bit. Do the Bills have more than 4 plays in their offensive scheme?
Doesn't seem like it.
I would hope so, but yeah, Mikey said, yeah, it doesn't seem like fans just stopped going to games. No, that's not true, and it won't happen. I get what you're saying, Billy D. I get that, but this isn't like the Oakland Athletics, right? Like where it's just been a shit team for so long that the fans are so disgusted that they're just not going to show up. This team's still winning, right? There's still going to be hope no matter what. You got Josh Allen. Josh Allen's still fun to watch, right? And it's the Buffalo Bills, right? People love going tailgating, going to it's the atmosphere. Like, it's just not, I get it, but that's not going to happen. Matter of fact, we were terrible for the longest time and fans were still going. So you think they're going to stop now? I mean, maybe a few, but I promise you it won't. Like, I get it, but it's not going to happen. Like that part won't happen. Go ahead, Mike. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I was going through the chat too, and I saw Sophie's email, and it says next year's openings of the stadium's shaping up to be a dud. I don't think so. I think they're going to figure out and have to fix that wide receiver room this offseason. I think they're just going through it this year rough, and I bet you that they go out and do something this next year.
Yeah, I would hope, Mikey.
After this, like Brady's going to be gone.
Brady will be gone. I said that too. I don't think you. I think either I think he takes a college coaching job. I think that's his. To be honest with you, I think that's his bright. I think he should do that, huh?
Or Cincy,
but you know what? For me, and he's not going to pass up a head coaching job in the NFL, more than likely, right? Like, that's every coach's dream, guys. Like, I get it, but it realistically,
he passed up the Saints this year. He could have.
Well, I'm talking about like a job where they're, dude, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's real opportunity there. Saints are. I would be scared as a head coach unless you're a proven, seasoned coach. Let's say you've been in the league a while and you want to go coach the Saints. Fine, you know what I mean? Like, you're proven. You could prove it. You know, that's just something else to add to your resume. Fine, but a new head coach going to a really bad team, having to rebuild is scary, right? Like, that's tough. And especially for a young guy like that, like that would be probably a bad move. I mean, look at Dable, right? I'm just saying, Giants were a mess, and and Dable's been around, so and they're quick to get rid of you. So for me, yeah, the Bengals job would be interesting, but I honestly think he should look for a college gig. Like, that's what I would do. Earn your stripes there again.
Go back.
LSU's open. Yeah. I think Penn State got right. Dable's going to Penn State. I heard. Or I heard he wore like a shirt or jersey or something. Somebody said that he wore some kind of Penn State, but I know that's open. But go ahead, sorry.
I'd say also one to keep an eye on is the Giants. If they keep Shane, Joe Shane and Brandon Beane are close, and they love their connections. Those two guys.
Yeah.
They have a young quarterback. Take a young offensive mind.
Yeah, take our garbage. Brutal.
Yeah,
I'm trying to.
You can tell me Joe Shane of the Giants is protege of Bean. Like, listen, say what you want about. He's brought in talent there.
Sorry,
on that defensive side of the ball. Joe Shane has brought in some serious talent on the defensive side of the ball. It's their offense that just hasn't been good. And I wonder if Neighbors doesn't get hurt and Scatabo doesn't get hurt, is Dable truly fired today? After they made the move to Jackson Dart, because they blew some late leads because of the offense. Maybe
not, but I think he was. I think he would have been gone regardless at the end of the season. I do. I don't think they would have won games anyway. I think they would have, added chalk on a couple more. I get it, good player you lost, but I just thought, I think the writing was kind of was on the wall there. Like I think this was a do or die season for him, and I just think he was just. It just wasn't working, right? And then, of course, the injuries just obviously didn't help, but it was time, and I think the Giants knew that, and it was a mess. And that's right. Dable, you got to remember, Dable's a seasoned coach in the NFL, right? And college. Like, he's been around for a while. The opportunities for him compared to a younger head coach, he's going to have opportunities all over the place. You know what I mean? Not necessarily head coaching, but even then he might still have
He'll go back and be a coordinator.
Exactly.
People aren't going to forget what Jackson Dart looked like with him as calling the plays, being the head coach, and also what he did with Josh Allen. You know what I mean?
Correct.
As Beth comes in and says, "See, I'm not completely without faith here. Last week was a wake up call for everyone. Sometimes good teams need to take a bad loss to, but I felt like the Falcons loss was the bad loss that really woke us up. Not the Dolphins one, but we'll see.
No, and that was a spanking. I don't know about a wake up call. I do want to get to this before you want to get to a couple more chats and we'll get to this article?
Yeah.
Mikey?
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some chats.
No, why don't you get to the article? And then why I look for some chats.
No problem. All right, guys. So I'm going to pop up this article. I find it interesting. Like I said, I found it interesting. I'll be honest with Mikey. I knew about Brady's history, about where he's been. Mm-hmm. I understand, I knew it a little bit, but I didn't know a lot. I never really kind of dug into it or read articles. And I was interested. So I looked it up the other day. I was bored. And this is what I found. And it's very interesting. I know you guys probably can't see it, but I'll read it. So here's an article from SI. They cover all the teams in the NFL. This is back in 2021, by the way. This is right when he got fired. So this is an article. I don't know the guy's name, but anyways, I think he's a good football coach. I really do. He's a bright offensive mind, but he's very young. Sometimes young coaches that are extremely smart outsmart themselves. They play too much into analytics. They're super conservative and run a vanilla offense. There's nothing complex about Brady's scheme. It's very basic, which is why he struggled to have positive results in the league. You can't be predictable. You have to throw a bunch of motions, double moves, RPOs, rub routes, and present the defense with some eye candy pre-snap. From what I could tell, 90% of the motions are just to expose if the defense is in man or zone coverage. There are very few motions into routes, blocks, or once again, eye candy. Getting the eyes of the defense to have their eyes in the wrong place could be a difference between a 2-yard gain or a 20-yard gain. After the Panthers put up a miserable offensive performance against the Giants, the writing was on the wall. Joe Brady wasn't going to last. And then he says here, says one of the biggest reasons, hold on. There was another part where he was saying about scheme, or was that another article? There was another article. Anyway, so, was it here? Yeah. So after the Panthers put up a miserable offensive performance, or is it here? I don't remember where. Anyways, Mike, let me go to the other one, which I could present. So that one holds true about predictable, the vanilla type offense a little bit too. I mean, though Brady has shown that he can get some stuff going in there that's not so vanilla, but and then there's this article, and there's just a little snippet from this article actually, which was interesting here. So this one here, which I have no idea who these people are, but it still holds true. It says here, Brady's designs did not put the Panthers in enough advantageous situations either. Instead, he repeatedly asked receivers to win their respective matchup rather than scheming them open. I feel like we've been talking about that, Mikey, over and over and over again with this wide receiver room, right? They're not the worst ever, guys. Like, they're not these awful. This isn't 2018 Buffalo Bills wide receiver room. They're better, okay? It's up to Joe Brady, regardless, to scheme these guys up, right? To understand their strengths better. And I don't feel like he's done a good enough job at that. That's one. The thing about talking about being predictable has been a thing I've talked about since last year. I feel like he's way too predictable at times, and defenses kind of, catch on to some of the things he's calling. So my point is, when I look back at Mikey at these articles, and I'll let you talk, is I don't see change, which concerns me. So this is something from 2020, 2021. And we're here now in 2025. And it's kind of the same thing, right? The same articles are the same thing I'm talking about, and a lot of people are talking about when it comes to Joe Brady. And I'm not saying he's god awful, but it seems like either he can't change Mikey, or he doesn't want to, meaning, change his philosophy and the way he does things. So what's your thoughts on these articles? Because I know I sent them to you earlier in the week. So what's your thoughts when it comes to this? And is Brady just not able to change, or he's unwilling to?
I think it's part unwilling. I don't think it's not able to, because I get he was only the passing game coordinator at LSU, but the LSU offensive coordinator, the one that, came out and said Brady designed and called plays during that time there. Because people like to remind me when I talk about his LSU days. Like, he designed the passing, but the offensive coordinator, the one that actually was in charge. So they had a run game coordinator, a passing game coordinator, and then the offense coordinator.
I didn't even read that part, but you're right. That was another part that I wanted to read. He wasn't even in charge of the offense. He was passing game coordinator.
But he did call play, especially at the end of the year when that guy had a family emergency and he was gone, the offense coordinator. And he did a lot of that type of stuff, and he was in charge of it at the end. And they went on those runs. But either way, the offense coordinator came out and said it in an interview, talked about him, and said how crucial he was and how innovative he could be. I don't know if it, because you have to remember he's only ever played for defense. He's only ever been the offense coordinator for defensive head coaches. Matt Rule, Sean McDermott.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Who both, by the way, wanted an offense similar to each other.
They want the ground and pound, play strong defense, 1980s football. That's what they want.
I get it. Yeah, I get that.
My issue with Brady isn't even so much about what he used to do versus what he does today. My issue with Brady is he's completely changed the offense from what it was last year. Like, we don't use any of the intermediate passing game anymore. We don't use the backs out of the backfield, get them involved. Like, we used to run backs on seams. We don't do any of that stuff anymore. It's like we went to a very short, quick passing game. 1, 2, 3, ball out, run after catch. Tom Brady's old, Joe Burrow's type of offense. 1, 2, 3, gone. 1, 2, 3. That's not who Josh Allen is. The fact that you're trying to turn him into that tells me that either A, McDermott is telling him what this is the offense I want, so he's running it, or B, he just doesn't understand his players.
I think it's B. I'll be honest with you. I'm not saying A isn't possible, and it probably is. And it may be. It's
probably somewhere in between. It's probably C.
Yeah, it could be.
It's both of them coming together.
D,
saying we want
all above. It definitely can be. But once again, I go back to it and say, and I am a believer in this, and I understand when it comes to young coaches, but when you're given the opportunity, if you feel like you can't, you're not up for it, meaning, like you said earlier, right? Like, this isn't, he's only, been with defensive coordinators or defensive-minded head coaches, but they're giving him an opportunity. Here's your opportunity. Do you want to take it, right? This is what I want, right? I want a balanced offense, run heavy, blah, blah, blah. It's still up to Joe Brady. He could, listen, if he's confident enough in himself, he's going to make it work. And clearly, he thought he was, right? And I get it, and you got to take that, I understand, right? You're going to take that role. It's not going to be something that's given out every day, right? I understand this. But at the same time, though, same thing as we talk about McDermott and all that other stuff. Once the ingredients are in place, it's your responsibility to put it together. Regardless of what your coach, whatever the hell it may be, it's still your responsibility to scheme it up and make it work, right? And if you can't, you can't. I mean, and maybe that's not, like I said, maybe he's not all at fault here because of that. But I don't care. Like, I'm not, I'm not for excuses. Like, you got the opportunity, you got to make it work, regardless of if it fits your way of thinking about how offenses should be ran, whatever. So, once again, it worked last year, clearly, right? We were a pretty good offensive team last year. But I think defenses also adjusted. They saw how things were they saw how we were running things here. They had plenty of time in the offseason to adjust, to look at film, see how that's what they do. They study, right? That's what coordinators do. They sit in the film room all season, right? They study when you go to play a certain team they know. And I feel like Brady hasn't adjusted well either, right? And the things like you said earlier, That he's taken away is odd. It's head scratching. I have no idea why. But he has. So the fact that he hasn't seen that and gone back to it, that's also a red flag. Why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so why hasn't he? Why is he refusing to go to things that have once worked? You get what I mean? So that's alarming. And yeah, man, I do think, those articles, some of that rings true, bro. I still think the predictability is still there from Brady. I still think at times the vanilla type offense is there. I also think scheming up receivers, he doesn't do a good enough job of that. I think that holds true. So I think, honestly, Mikey, I think Brady's more of the issue than the receivers. I really do. I'm not saying they're great, guys. Don't kill me on it. I told you guys I think we need a number one. I do. I think this just doesn't work. But I think Brady has more to do with this than anything. I do. It's his responsibility.
This is where me and you differ.
Yeah.
Because I think until we get rid of our head coach, you're not going to see anything different.
Oh, that I agree. That I'm with you. I'm not even denying that.
I don't
philosophy-wise, yeah.
Who the offensive coordinator is. I don't believe that you're going to see a different type of offense until we have a different head coach. Because the second Brady leaves, whether he's fired, whether he gets a head coaching, whether they agree to part
ways, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The next guy that comes in is going to be a Sean McDermott type of guy. He's not going outside of his bubble to bring in a Clint Kubiak or some other type of offensive mind, because Sean McDermott doesn't want that. He wants someone who's going to do what he wants, when he wants, how he wants. It's just the way he's built. And he's proven that on offense and defense. The last coordinator that stood his ground against him was Debacle, and he has yet to come back. He went with two first years after.
Yeah. I'm with you, and I partially agree with you on that. I still think it's the offensive coordinator's job to still scheme receivers up better. He still has to call the plays better.
I still don't.
I
don't disagree with
being
that.
predictable is on him. That McDermott's not calling the plays like that.
Some of
it's on Josh. Absolutely. Like, I want to make this clear too. Go ahead.
And receivers. You have to freaking win your routes. Like,
absolutely.
At the end of the day, if they're calling a slant, you have to win it. If they're calling it out, there's some lazy ass route running going on in that receiver room.
Oh, dude.
Off of film. Some lazy ass. Keon, Dalton rounding. Like, there's no Christmas. Like, there is some really lazy, lousy route running going on.
I agree.
Then Josh doesn't want to take the 1 yard pass and hope they break a tackle. Yes, he can hit the 1 yard guy, but why do we have 5 guys within 7 yards?
Yeah, I'm with you. And I want to say, too, because I've been getting heat about this, about the whole Josh Allen thing. I want to make this perfectly clear, guys. For those of people that have been saying me and Mikey are not having Allen,
never blaming him
on this. Yeah, never blaming. He's on this pedestal. Like, guys, we've said it for the longest time. We're going to call out everybody. It doesn't matter. Like, whoever's playing bad, we're going to let you know. Allen isn't perfect. He's making mistakes this year. 1,000% true. Like, we're not denying that. We're not saying Allen has just been this awesome guy and it's everyone else's problem. We know it. We see it just like you see it. However, I feel this is the problem with some of you guys. And I don't know about you in the chat. I'm just saying some people in particular. Because you want to prove it so much that we're not blaming Allen, you're only focusing on Allen. So you're just like, Allen sucks, Allen sucks, Allen this, Allen. And it's like, it's over. It's like, guys, like me and Mikey have never said Allen's not to blame or partially to blame here. But just for you guys to just be like looking at clips after clips after clips and throwing that here and saying, Allen get this, Allen. Guys, we get that. Like, we understand that. We're watching the game. We watch y'all 22. We understand that. We talk about it. Matter of fact, Mikey just said it. There's plays there that Allen can make for 2-3 yards. We get it. 4, right? There's even plays that Allen might miss. Guys wide open, 15 yards out of it. We get it. We understand that. But we also understand he's not perfect. No quarterback is. There are going to be mistakes made during the course of a game. And I'll tell you this, if we're winning, you're not coming back with that same thing and going, oh, Allen missed this guy. He's there. Like, No, because it's all about, right? When you win, nobody looks at all that shit. Nobody gives a fuck about the receiver who's open 3 yards in front of him, right? Nobody would say anything if we only had 1 loss on the season. Nobody. But because we're not looking to, of course, you're looking for reasons. Everyone, I think, Mikey, if this is fair to say, and I'll have your take on it, I think everyone is kind of searching for answers on why this is failing.
That is exactly the reason. And the fan base can't come down to one, because you can't put your thumb on one thing. It's a failure as a whole right now. The receivers are running lazy routes and not getting separation. The offensive scheme is just garbage right now. You know, Josh is turning down 2-3 yards that could put us ahead of the chains. You know, the offensive line isn't blocking as well and blowing assignments. Like it's the sum of the, of the parts as a whole. It's not just one thing. One guy makes a mistake on the play, and that's the end of it. I don't know. Did you watch last night's game?
I gave up on it.
Okay, so I watched a little bit of it, and I was watching Drake May make wrong decisions, and his guys made him right by making really tough catches or doing things like that. Like I watched Drake May turn down wide open dudes 2-3 yards down the field to go for a 17 to 20 yard play, and their guys made the play.
Correct. And that though is what? That there is execution as well. That's a player wanting it more, right? That's also May, and I want to point this out. Great point that you bring this up. That's also May having faith in his guys, trust. And I go back to it, and you guys want to talk about Allen. Allen does, and that's another thing we talk about when we say, "Oh, guy wide open. Why didn't Allen throw that one?" Allen doesn't have the faith anymore in these guys. That's why I almost feel like he's not letting the ball go at times when he probably should, right? Because he just doesn't have it down yet with these guys. The chemistry isn't there, or the belief that they're going to actually go up and try to make a play on the ball. Maybe he doesn't truly believe it. He's going to tell you he does, because Allen's not going to throw anyone under the bus. He didn't throw Kelvin Benjamin under the bus. And he's certainly not going to throw anybody currently under the bus. But the facts are there. Allen just simply doesn't have enough confidence in some of these guys or chemistry where he's willing to take the chance.
But he throws it up to Keon, which makes zero sense.
But I think that
someone, that's not the guy I'm throwing it to right now.
I almost feel like that's being kind of forced. Last week was odd. Last week was the first week I would say Keon was getting a lot of targets early on, which is not really been a thing with Keon here, right? And I felt like coaches almost were like, or McDermott maybe, and Brady had this thing where like, hey, let's get Keon going early. Let's throw his way. Let's call these plays for Keon, because those are all Keon Coleman design plays. Like those were not him going through his reads and just going to Keon, late in the route. You know what I mean? So those I feel like were just being forced. And yeah, when you force throws, it's usually not good. Like, you know what I mean? When you're forcing it. So, and he's not the right guy to be forcing it to. Stephon Diggs, right? Say what you want. If you want to force him the ball, fine. Like, I get it. He's Stephon fucking Diggs, right? You know what I mean? Though I still don't really, want it to be that way. But if you're going to do it with a guy that at least is a little bit more reliable.
Yeah.
Not Keon Coleman.
Walter comes in and says, does anyone really ever doubt the underneath passing option being there? For me, I don't care about him missing the underneath. I'm worried about the intermediate. The problem is we're not running many intermediate passing concepts. We have for the love of the game routes, and then like that's it. Underneath shit and for love of game routes. And if the guy who's running that intermediate doesn't beat his guy, Josh isn't going to force it there. And that's part of the problem. He's coming off of it, trying to get it somewhere else because the guy's not winning, or he's running a lazy route, or he's fucking jogging, which I saw on film last week, like 7 or 8 plays, receivers jogging.
Yeah, unacceptable. I mean,
they weren't jogging against the Chiefs.
Right.
Like it was the effort that the Bills put out last week on film on offense was putrid.
Oh yeah, it was. I I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was terrible. I saw a stat the other day, trying to find it now while you're going through the chat, but very interesting stat on Khalil Shakir and where he's getting the targets at. Like it's crazy how the stat is. This is nuts. Look up some of the chats while I look this up because you're gonna be like, what the hell?
So Brian comes in and says, any side Kendall Fuller signing? I don't know anything about Kendall Fuller signing, or potentially happening. No, I don't think corner is our problem. Honestly, I don't find the corner is our problem. Like, I want to see Max play. I want him out there because
absolutely.
at the end of the day, he's our future. I want him out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Roy asks if the O-line's having blocking assignment issues, isn't that partly on Cromer? Yes. But Cromer can teach it, but if they misread it and get tricked, does that really fall on Cromer, or does that fall on the guys actually trying to execute whatever the blocking assignment is supposed to be?
Right.
Jerry O, he does things with Joe Miller, and he's on the Locked On stuff with, and he does a lot of those type of breakdowns of what the offensive line is supposed to be reading. He talks a lot about that. Like, okay, we call out the mic. They audible. We have a check to that audible. So we should always have an idea what's going on. And the Bills just look lost at times.
Totally. Yeah, totally. But that's on coaching though. To me, that there still falls on coaching
and McDermott and Brady and all of those guys. Absolutely.
Correct.
Kai says Allen's no leader. Allen's a yes man. Yes, this, yes, that. He needs to start calling motherfuckers out. That's just not
a little bit, but he's not going to do it. Right.
I'm not going to say he's no leader because he's absolutely a leader.
He's a leader.
He's not an asshole.
He's not a Peyton Manning. He's not
a Tom Brady.
Not a Tom Brady. Not a Peyton Manning.
He's not an Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to throw his teammates under the bus. He's too freaking nice of a human.
Oh, here we go. All right, here we go, Mikey. So the Khalil Shakir, 46.7% of Khalil Shakir's receptions have been at or behind the line of scrimmage this season. Guys, that is terrible. That's an awful, awful stat. That there is scheming. That's on Brady. That's him calling some bullshit ass call. There's no reason for that, guys. There's 47%. Guys, Khalil Shakir's not a bum. We know what he could do. Like, what's going on here? Like, so that's my point about scheming things up too. You're these route trees, these route combinations that he's throwing out there too. It's guys, it's not good. So that's what you want Allen throwing.
Bubbles.
I mean, really, right? Bubble screens and these quick outs that are 2-3 yard gains. In the Dolphins game, Mikey, when I went back and saw some of those. Bro, he got the ball out quick, yeah. But it was literally catch and tackle within 2-3 yards. It was miserable. We weren't going anywhere.
They were playing downhill the entire time. And we never, outside of trying to throw it to Keon on a few deep balls, where we did have him beat a couple times and Josh missed him. But outside of that, they knew we weren't going to run them deep. They knew we weren't going intermediate. They knew everything was going to be short because that's what Brady calls. Correct. As Scott's saying, watching the Patriots last night, it was easy for May. Wide open receivers all over the place. Because also, some of the receivers beat their man. They ran crisp routes. Yeah. I don't know if you watched Douglas. I watched Douglas put the Jets defenders in a blender all night long. I watched Diggs put but then they went to zone, and Mac Hollins just sat down in the zone. Found the zone and sat down. Our guys keep running right into fucking coverage.
Yeah, but that's coaching, though. I got to say it, even if it's on the players.
Have a feel.
But
you have to have a feel.
No, I get it, but you
understand where the zone's at.
I'm with you, but these are season. We go back and we talk about some of these guys on the team, right? You
I'm talking more like Shavers and Coleman.
No, I get those guys, but you're talking about what about the other guys? What about the guys like Elijah Moore? What about the guys like?
I don't see them running intermediate routes to sit down in zones because they're running all the short shit or for the love of the game routes.
Right.
We're using Shavers and we're using Keon to run those intermediate routes.
But this is why I go back to you got to switch things up. Once again, you cannot keep going on with the same. For me, Brady and McDermott, even if you want to put him in the same boat, they're continuing on this like path of destruction. Like there has to be a time where like they realize at least we hope that the path you're on is not working, right? It's time to take a different path and like at least switch things up a little bit. And I feel like, I used the analogy earlier, Mikey. I said, it's like going down the same road, getting the same flat tire, right? Like, and you're hoping, oh, well, I like this road. But yet you keep getting the flat tire. You have to eventually go down a different road. You got to take a different path or else you get the same flat tire. And I feel like that's what's going on, right? It's the same, like they just keep pushing it out there, keep putting the product out there, keep putting the same offense out there instead of Joe Brady going, man, have the fucking balls, by the way. If it is McDermott, okay, to your point, if McDermott clearly is going, no, Brady, bro, fuck that. Like, you know what, bro? Because I feel like if Brady happened to play it, let's say Brady one game changed it up a little bit. If this is what's really going on, and Brady got a little bit more up tempo, and Brady did a little bit more different offensive schemes or play call, and we actually played really good. Let's say the offense started going on a roll that game. I find it hard to believe that after the win, right? Let's say we win that our offense looks good, and McDermott goes into Brady's offense and goes, what the fuck was that? Take it off. I don't want it. I just find it hard to believe. Now, McDermott, of course, he's the puppet master. It could happen. But I kind of find it hard to believe, too, because he did give in the year that he wanted Allen to stay in the pocket more, not run. He eventually gave in because he was desperate. And he knew the offense was struggling.
We're headed that way now because they've asked. Listen, did our offense look anything like it did against Kansas City? We ran the complete game plan was completely freaking different.
I agree.
So whoever's making these game plans needs to throw that shit out the window.
And the problem, though,
needs to do it.
The problem, though, is the game plan they ran against Kansas City. I kind of didn't hate because of the receivers weren't doing their job this season. And I'm like, okay, so if that's going to be the case and Kincaid could stay healthy, the 22 personnel might work. Like it could work. But now that Kincaid's hurt, now what do we do? You know what I mean? Now now what do we do? You know what I mean? So what's up Brady's sleeve now? Does he have anything else? Can he, you know what I mean? Like, can he make it work with what he has on the field? And that is a concern. That's a problem because early on, before he went to this 22 personnel that seemed to work against Kansas City effectively, it wasn't when we needed the passing game. You know what I mean? He wasn't doing that 22 personnel. So I feel like he went to it in the Kansas City game. It worked very well. And then Kincaid got hurt against the Dolphins, and that was a wrap.
Even without Kincaid, like we never saw the tight ends go downfield.
True. You're right. No, you're right. And Dawson's more than capable, by the way, guys.
Yeah. I've watched Haas catch a deep ball. Like he's capable of doing it.
No, he's capable.
You never saw it.
Yeah,
the Dolphins played, I'm going to take out your run game.
Yep.
They sent everyone to stop the run game and dared Josh Allen to beat him with this receiving and said, I bet you your offensive coordinator won't dial it up. And they
correct. And they won. They won that bet.
Yep.
They won that bet. Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you on this, Scott. You know, and it's like our linebackers are just, I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I don't know either. I don't know. I have no idea. But the defense, I know. I always say I've given up on them, but we still got to talk about them. It's. I don't know what to say anymore. The injuries piling up. It's like we get guys back and we lose more guys. Like we get guys back, we lose another pair of guys. Right? We think we're good. Michael Hoyt, here we go. After the suspension, we're gonna be all right. Has a game where it's like, damn, okay, and then he gets fucking out, hurt out for the season. Right? It's just like we can't win for like with that. The injury on this team, the injury bug, has followed this team for years, man, for fucking years, guys.
Ever since they played that stupid ass prank in preseason,
dude. And I had that clip. Yeah, I had that clip, which was nobody talks about.
We were super healthy up until they did that shit.
Yeah, and I guarantee a lot of Bills Mafia forgot about that, but I won't play it again. But if you guys don't know, there was a clip back in when was that? 2022, I think. So 2022, 2023, somewhere around there was the off season.
2022, I think.
Yeah, and it was the year that
the 22 season.
It was a major injury. I think Poyer got hurt and was the first one in camp. But it was you guys know Bills have this goofy PR, this online, where they throw clips out and goofy, weird media team. Sorry, the media team. And they had a clip, this like little video of an ambulance, and I forget who it was. It was one of our running backs or whatever, and they acted like there was a major injury, and the ambulance comes on the field, and then they were like, "Oh, it's Cap, like joking around. There's no injury." And then we had, I
think we had injuries. Jordan Poyer popped his arm out or something.
Yes, that's something like it started from there, and it was just. And I'm not saying I believe in that stuff, but it was weird. Like, why joke around? Like, I don't even get the joke. I really didn't even understand.
They were one of the healthiest teams.
I think maybe they were going with that. Too. Like, yeah, maybe they were going with that notion. Like, hey, look at us. We're, we avoided all these.
It is.
Yeah,
just shit in the past. But Dallas wish J17 would rip his offense sometimes, like Brady did, instead of sitting there looking all sad. Where's the fire? He just looks like he's not having fun, like at all. Like he doesn't trust what he sees. He's not a fan of what's going on, and it's not even where's the fire. Josh was brought up, and he talks about it all the time. You deal with what you have, and you don't complain about it. That's his personality. It's how he was raised. Figure out a way to make it better. You bloom where you're planted, or some crap like that. Like Josh isn't the type that's going to go out and just start ripping people left and right. That's just not who he is. And
no,
8 years in, he's not changing his stripes,
Correct. Yeah. And I'm really, like, honestly, guys, that's why I'm kind of hoping that, at some point we're week 11 in, right? We're almost not in desperation mode, but we're in a mode right now where you better start picking up some wins, right? Like, you can't keep fucking around. Because, a loss here and there, before you know it, getting to 10 now could be a problem. So you don't want to fall into that, right? You don't want to go that way where we're hoping to get our 10th win in week 18, right? So hoping you don't want that.
The playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, right. Just getting in the playoffs. So, I'm a believer in I'm hoping for the best, obviously, and I'm hoping that, Brady can at least just start, like I said, change lanes for a game. Just let Josh throw a couple deep ones. If you know what?
He threw a couple deep ones last week and he missed.
Right. But if you're bringing Gabe back, for instance, and I'm not saying he's the answer. We signed McCole Hardman, and once again, I'm not saying either guy is like the answer. But for me, man, at this point, you're at a stage where your offense is just not right. It's stuck. It needs a spark. Whatever that spark, I don't give a fuck where the spark comes from. I keep telling you guys. That's why I brung up the Cooper thing many, many times. Not that Cooper was just, oh my God, he's wowing every week. But whatever it was, it brung some kind of spark and we went on a roll. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Maybe bringing up Gabe, maybe bringing up McCole Hardman. I know, but my point is just that little guy, just the fact that he came here.
I'm just messing with you.
I know you are, but maybe Gabe, for as much as people don't like him or whatever has their feelings about him, maybe even McCole Hardman, who knows? Maybe and you just never know, bro. You know what I say? Maybe it take a big play to happen. What if? I'm just saying. What if Gabe Davis has a 60-yard bomb to him and he catch? Maybe that's a spark. I don't know. But at this point, I feel like I'm just in desperation mode where I'm just hoping for the best, and I'm hoping maybe that spark is there. It could happen with that. You know what I mean? What else can I hope for? You know what I mean? Like, so let's see.
Let's stop talking like we're 5-5.
I didn't say we're 5-5. We're 6 and.
But sometimes people are a prisoner of the moment. We just came off a really bad loss where we looked like shit. They played like shit. They didn't put any effort in. What Bills team showed up? If the one that showed up against the Chiefs where they wanted it, they play better. For whatever reason, last week they didn't get on the plane,
mm-hmm.
and it showed in their effort. So
It
what
did.
Bills team is showing up? If they show up and they want it, they're productive and they're good. I have yet to see us show that we really want it and lose.
But that's
every one of our losses has been lackluster. What the hell are these guys doing?
But that's my issue, though, Mikey. With the remaining schedule, we can't have those type of games anymore. You know what I mean? You can't.
But you were just talking about how you're desperate. We're not desperate. We need the guys that show some freaking fire.
I think they're getting desperate enough to go and sign McCole Hardman and bring up Gabe Davis. Yeah, I think they're getting to the point where they need a spark. And that tells me there's a little... I'm not saying totally desperate, Mikey. I'm not saying like we're just fucking... I'm just saying there is signs of... Geez, we need something... We need a spark. Like, they're picking guys up from free agency now that hasn't played all year. Trust me when I tell you, it's not desperate, but they're definitely hoping for some kind of spark. Like or you don't do that. Like, trust me, it's
you do when you have guys on your roster that these guys that they're picking up are better than. Like, why the fuck we have Codrington still on this roster?
Well, we said
nothing other than return punts, and he's at game day and active every week. I'd much rather have Hardman, who's a better returner and gives you something at the wide receiver position.
Yeah,
like what are we doing?
I don't know. And Codrington's this guy. Hire me to do that.
We have Mathis,
make me inactive.
We have Mathis on this roster, but then we go out and get Morgan Fox, who's a proven guy who can play the Michael Hoyt role. Why are we just now going to get him? He's been on the couch.
I have no idea. But see, that goes back to the not desperate mode, but that goes to oh shit mode. I think we're in the oh shit mode. We need it. We're week 11 in. We can't afford a lot more, many more losses to this point. You get what I mean? So looking at the schedule, Mikey, and I get it, but we're 6-3. This Tampa game, you don't want to lose this. You go to 6-4, you're going to Houston on the road against a very good defensive team. We could quickly become 6-5. Especially if you lose to Tampa, because losing at home 2 in a row, that's devastating. And I'm going to tell you right now.
You still have Philly. You still have the Steelers. You still have the Bengals with probably Joe Burrow being back. You still have the Patriots.
Correct. We were playing at a high level.
Lost.
That could all beat us. Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I'm not saying this is a must win. But boy, it's very fucking important. It's very fucking important because they lose this. You want to talk about seeing Josh Allen, his face, the way he talked after the Dolphins loss. Woo! I'm telling you, you go home, you lose to Tampa. Boy, oh boy.
We were saying the same thing after the for the Chiefs game. Like, we need to win this one, and we went out and rolled them. So let's see what happens.
That's what I'm saying. You never know. I mean, maybe you're right, and maybe that game versus the Dolphins is a really big wake up call. Though it should have been a wake up call against the Falcons. Okay, but maybe this is this is it. This is the real wake up call, and they wake the fuck up. But I still think though it's going to take other things to happen, like Joe Brady and Sean McDermott to kind of get out of lanes.
The scary part is, Tommy, and the thing that I'm probably most afraid of is they're not going to change, and
that's my worry. I think that's why I hit the panic button. I'm not saying the season's over, but it's very fair that it did, and I think a lot of people are hit more. I think a lot of people are just kind of like at this point thinking we're just done.
We need to get into some of these.
Yeah, go ahead.
Scott says I'm officially off the Dion train. I'll be honest. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that guy this year. For all the shit he talked in the offseason and he created this new award. Dude, he's getting his ass whipped almost weekly now.
I still think he's good. I still think he's a really good tackle.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
I don't know if it's week in, week out getting it. I think there's games where he doesn't
go right through him over and over and over.
There's been moments, I think, and I think it's fair to criticize him a little bit as well. But I also, to be fair for him, I also think Edwards isn't much of a help next to him either. Just saying. So I get your point, and I think everybody at this point should be criticized. I don't know if there's a player on this team that hasn't had some letdowns, if that's fair to say.
We talked about that earlier. It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I'm with you on this, Walter, that we used to be a team that converted, but Brady's turned us into a very short, quick passing game. And I don't understand why. And I don't know if it's a McDermott thing because they want to run the ball and have a quick passing game or what it is, but I don't like what I'm seeing. We're not using our quarterback to the best of his ability. We're just not.
And we're not even using our running backs in the passing game. Did you see the Patriots use their running back last night too?
Yeah.
I mean, what is the point of having 3 capable running backs who are capable of being receivers out the backfield, and yet you just don't, you go away from it. It makes 0 sense to me. Mikey, I have no idea why Brady is not using the running backs in the passing game. I can't even tell. It just doesn't even make sense.
When we used them last year, is it about the time Cooper came? Like the second half season when we really started using the backs, and we just stopped doing that again. And I don't understand it either. We don't use the middle of the field or like long crossing routes, or everything is short zags and like we don't even use slants. Keon will kill you on slants all day long, and we don't ever throw it.
Nope. It's crazy.
Ella comes in and says there's no leader on this team. Leadership comes in different forms. There's no fire in your face leadership on this team.
And that I don't like either. I'll be honest with you. And that's
they
something
got rid
that
of a lot of those guys. They felt they were too distracting.
I wish Allen would have that more in him,
it's not
where he would go to the sideline and be like, and I've seen Allen do it though. I have. He did it in that Chiefs game where he was in the playoff game where he was fucking hyped. Remember going to I just I feel like guys, when things are going down, you need your leaders to go up to this, on the bench and make sure, tell you everything's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Put your head up high, right? We got this fucking shit. And we don't have that. Like Von Miller was that, right? For us. Like, say what you want about Von, but Von still had that.
And he went in the media and called people out.
And said everything's, and also too, he was the guy that stayed positive and got people motivated. Mac Hollins was the guy last year that did that with the team. Like, it's all right. Come on.
Mac more than anybody thought they were going to.
Maybe
I really
so.
do. Say what you want about Mac, and I see someone down low, and we'll get to it. And Mac isn't fast, but the dude knows how to run routes and get open, and we miss that.
He does.
Scott, if I see Brady run another, Brady's as stubborn as freaking McDermott. On the end of round's gonna work. We're gonna hit a big one of these times.
That too. I don't get it.
Running it.
Right.
Why do we keep running James Cook up the middle? We know if we run the toss sweep on the outside, James can pick one of 3 fucking holes, and he usually picks the right one and gets yardage. But no, let's try to run it right up the middle where it's not working.
You know what I got to thinking too?
Over and over.
It's probably worked in camp because our defense is not that good.
No. Right, you can run up the middle on our defense all day long.
Right. So think about it. They probably were like, you know what? That's why I'm not going to be sold anymore on these off-season, this guy's burning our defense thing. Everyone burns our defense. So what's working against our defense, guys, in the off-season? I'm not going to get sold that it'll work in the regular season versus other NFL defenses.
Marino, you could tell Bernard's playing injured. By the way he's just moving, you can tell he's not healthy. But who'd they do that to last year that drove you crazy? They just kept running him out there even though he was hurt. I can't remember who.
Curtis Samuel was one of them.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel
when he had his turf toe.
They just kept running him out there, and he just wasn't right, and you could tell. And then they finally let him heal, and he got right, and then he actually produced at the back end of the year. It's like, why don't – I don't understand it. It's because the backups that they kept are all hurt too.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And that's another problem too with this team. It's like our starters are getting hurt, and then our depth, our guys, our second stringers are getting hurt. And now we're down to our third string, Yeah, I know.
We have Balin Spector back. That's how bad it got.
That's how bad it's got. And I thought he was long fucking gone, man. BS is back. And by the way, he was bad last week.
Defense's epic failure about trusting youth over vets that can't do it anymore. No. Yeah. Like, you have to trust the youth. From here on out, I don't give a shit how bad our defense plays. I do not want to see these aging vets out there anymore. I just don't. Like, Poyer, out there makes sense. But I don't need to see these other aging veterans out there.
I know. It's not even making a difference. If it was making a difference, I want to care.
I love Trey.
Right.
I don't need to see Trey out there.
Unless it's making a difference. If Trey was out there, guys, making plays, I don't give a fuck. He was 55 years old. I don't give a shit about his age, right? But he's not. That's the point, right? So put it this way. Calais Campbell, he's old as shit, been around forever, but he's making plays. Nobody gives a fuck about his age. If you're producing, right? Trey's not producing.
Old, injured guys who have been something here that has a legacy, and McDermott loves his legacy guys.
He loves it. Makes zero sense. Right.
Scott says, I'm seriously don't think we're making the playoffs. How do we play with this level of talent? Listen, it's not as good as it always is. It's not as bad as it always is. Like, I still feel like very much that we're in the playoff contention. I don't think we're going to win the division because
I think that
the
ship
Patriots
sailed.
have an easier schedule than we do, and they're
playing high. They're playing at an all-time high. You see it, don't you?
McDaniel's scheming up guys and getting guys open and using his guys to the best of their ability and knowing how to use their guys and
trusting in their players too to make plays. Like, dude, coaching guys, it tells you everything you need to know about coaching, how important it is, no matter the roster, how important coaching is to coach these players up and put them in better positions to win. And it's showing right there. If Vrabel came to New England year one, they're fucking 9-2. That's not a coincidence, guys. That's good coaching. That's bringing a good coaching staff with you. That's them understanding the May's strengths, his weaknesses, bringing on good guys that surround May, right, that can help May. We're not doing that for Allen. We didn't bring the guys around him that are going to help Allen out. We don't have the coaching staff, I don't think. I mean, we have a few that I like. I love Cromer. I think Cromer's really good. But outside of that, I feel like our coaching staff has been not good. It's really been kind of bad. I mean, to be honest with you, even our special teams coach, who we were all like giddy about.
This Turbor's been great everywhere he's been.
And this year,
you know what the common denominator is? The head fucking coach.
Right. It has to. You have to, and I tell this to people all the time, and it sucks. It does. I get it. I understand this, but at the end of the day, the GM, the head coach, and the quarterback get the most praise, and they also get the most heat. Meaning, when shit goes wrong, and it's a fair thing because they're paid the most, it's their responsibility. A head coach, at the end of the day, you hired this coaching staff, and at the end of the day, it's your team. So regardless of injuries, regardless of whatever's going on, you're in charge. You're the one we're going to point the finger at. You're year 9 in, and you're still having problems. So we're going to point the finger. We're not going to point the finger anymore at so-and-so, this receiver's coach, this special. It's your responsibility. You hired him. You correct it. And he hasn't. And all he does is fire him, promote within, and we're having the same fucking problem. Right? So it's a McDermott issue.
Marino, I won't push back against this too much. We do bring in some injury guys, but this is a very short list compared to the amount of guys that we bring in and then we draft. Bean's not as bad as a drafter as everyone makes him out to be. Yes, we drafted Landon Jackson. Landon Jackson had 2 torn ACLs. Yeah, we drafted him in the 3rd round who had a really high ceiling. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Bernard was injury prone in college. You drafted him in the 3rd round. He's not taking high draft picks that are injury prone. He's taking late day 2, early day 3 draft picks who have high ceilings. Like, I get in production in college. I get what he's doing. Am I overly fond of it? No, all the time. Like, but at the same time, like, I get where he's going. And Bean's hit on a lot of back end draft. Like, Bean's hit on a lot of draft picks. Like, we need to stop with the Bean doesn't know how to draft bullshit. Like,
he's had some good draft picks. I'm not going to totally. That's why I said I'm not. Even though I'm mad at him right now, guys, I don't think everything he's done here has been like, oh my God, he's so bad. Like, he's made some good decisions as well. But he's also made some bad ones. And like I told you guys, my biggest criticism of Brandon Beane is just him not having big enough balls to do it, to go outside his comfort zone. He's done it a few times, But I feel like I feel like they're far in between. Like he just doesn't do enough, and I need more from my GM to take more swings of the bat than just to be like, hey, I built this roster. This is the roster I'm comfortable with. Like, I get it. Like, and I'm with you, Brandon Bean, but sometimes it just doesn't work for some reason. And that's your responsibility now to go and correct it and go fix it. To your best of abilities that you can, right? Like, that's your job, right? So, and I feel like, man, he's just so stuck in this, this comfort zone that he's just unwilling to change or unwilling to get out of. I don't know, but that's my only flaw, really,
so
guys. It's not so much
my
the
question
draft
for
picks.
you. So if he won, I don't think Jalen Waddle changes this team. Making that trade and bringing Jalen Waddle in here doesn't change anything, because I don't believe Joe Brady would know how to use him. He had Stephon Diggs here and couldn't figure out how to use him. Like, at this point, I don't trust that the coaching staff would know how to truly use him. And all of a sudden, Jalen Waddle's going to be the difference between this offense being, the greatest show on turf versus what we're seeing today. Our scheme is our scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have other fast guys on this team, and we don't use them that way. So I get why he would help, but and we can agree to disagree. And we've gone down
that one. Me and Mikey, we've gone through this battle. We're a tug of war, and we won't get into it. But I agree.
I don't see how. I don't see how he didn't make a deal, but he didn't. So what makes you think this coaching staff is going to change their stripes all of a sudden?
No,
9
I know.
Years in.
He didn't make a deal, but that doesn't mean he doesn't see that there's a problem at receiver. No, especially when he goes out and signs one,
trying to make the deal. What I'm saying is, if he did make the deal, and I personally think maybe Breen's like, listen, I just don't see us using him the way we need to use him, and he's going to be the difference maker. So why am I giving up? He was still going
to give up a first, though, Mikey. He was still giving
but it
up
was going to be
in
next
2027. I know, but I don't think that was. I think he was playing. My opinion, I don't think it was that. I think he was playing hardball, and he was trying, for what the rumors were or whatever, trying to get. I think he was trying to get the guy Williams and maybe trying to give them the first, and maybe they were going to accept that, and then he was trying to do that flip around where, okay, I'll give them the first.
Brings in Williams and
right, and I think he got caught up in hardball, and then Williams left, and then I think he just wasn't willing to give up the 2026 at that point, or time had passed. I don't know, but I think that's ultimately what it was, because. Listen, I don't buy into the whole he was comfortable enough with the receiver room, so he just felt like it wasn't the big enough need to get rid of he was going to give up a first round. Bro, it doesn't matter. 2026, 2027, it's still going to be a late round, first round pick. You know what I mean? So it's still a first round pick. So I don't believe that. I believe he's not stupid. And I do believe he understands that this team, this receiver room is probably not what he thought it would be. And he was trying to get someone here that would help. And now he's in not desperation mode, but now I think he's looking for a potential spark. And like you said before the deadline, the potential spark could be Gabe Davis. Or not spark, but maybe that was the route we were going to go all along. And maybe that was his, I don't know. Hey, if I don't make a trade, at least I got Gabe. I guess. I guess.
Jarek in the house. What's going on, brother?
What up, Jarek?
It is what it is, guys. Brady's got to utilize the weapons because they're not as bad. And Josh has got to play better within structure. Receivers do a better job. My only issue with that, and I'm with you on that, Josh has to play better, is why am I seeing so many guys running such short routes all the fucking time? If that's really the structure we want, why do we pay $330 million for our quarterback?
Right. Yeah.
If that's the type of offense that they want. Like, I don't understand why we're paying so much money to our quarterback.
Right.
Because that's not what he does best.
Yeah. And I talked about this earlier, Jarek. There was articles written about Brady back in Carolina where this is the problem I see, and I'm agreeing with you, is this, I don't think he knows, he doesn't utilize what he has here. I don't think he understands player strengths very well, in my opinion. And I feel like this is dating back from last year. So he's not making these average look good. He's not putting them in better positions to look good, right? He's giving them very basic route concepts. And it's just not, it's not playing up to their strengths, right? For instance, you got Elijah Moore, right? He's a 4-3 weapon. Why did we sign him? Why? Well, we needed over the top speed, right? We needed a guy with that type of speed. There's no other reason why you would sign an Elijah Moore, right? You would think, and on the off season, me and Mikey talked about it. Oh, we got Elijah Moore. We can go deep now. We could do all these, motions and jets. Like, you could do a lot with that kind of guy, right? We have yet to do that. And then I got to talking about Mikey last week. I got talking about Moore. Why don't they at least give him a bone 2 or 3 times a game where you keep defense, even if you miss it, at least you let defenses know, hey, we got this guy with 4.3 speed. We're going to take shots with him a couple times. You better be fucking careful, right? And at least the defenses know now, oh, hey, they're going deep, right? You got to watch this guy. But we're not. We're giving him maybe one. I don't even know if we're giving him one a game. Are we giving him one a game, Mikey? I don't think so. No. Right. So what'd you bring him here for? What's the point?
Yeah. Roy, this is Mikey. I've never heard you bring up Fox's name earlier in the season. If he's been on the sofa, why not? I can give you 2 reasons why not, and you won't get a rant out of me.
Eating chips.
One, I actually didn't even realize because he actually signed a decent sized deal in Atlanta to start the year. I didn't realize
Morgan Fox.
I didn't realize that he was released. And 2, he plays that same role that Hoyt plays.
Correct.
And Hoyt was coming back. And I actually love the upside of Solomon, who also can play that role. So I wanted us to go young. When we lost Hoyt, it made sense that, and then, when I heard that they brought him in, I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize he was available. I thought he was still hurt with Atlanta. I didn't realize he was on the
cut him. Yeah, they cut him. Yep.
But yeah, he's actually produced in that tweener role. So that's why I didn't bring up his name. I know he's just trying to rile me up and get a rant out of me. I know what he's doing.
Right.
It's wild. Like how many other guys are out there that I don't even realize? Like Samuel's been sitting out there for a while. Like you're telling me Samuel can't be a better corner than Trey White is today?
And he just got picked up, right? Didn't he, or no?
Yeah, I think he signed with the Steelers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
who else got picked up? The safety, though. We don't need one right now because I feel like that safety room's actually starting to work out a little bit. We're starting to come together. Johnson? And he fucking had a really good game his first game.
But he's also, a problem in the locker room.
No, I get it, but I don't. Who gives a fuck?
You don't care.
You're telling me we can't.
For whatever reason, Bean and McDermott give a crap.
They care,
that.
but they got to stop. They got to stop. They got to stop with that because here's the deal: you're not a new team, meaning you're not this young team where, if a problem comes in, they can't sort it out or fix it. You got guys that have been here a while. You got guys that could fix that shit real quick in house. So once again, even if you're bringing a Wilkins, who's whatever, he's not going to come here and just all of a sudden be this big problem. Those guys will put him in his place really quick. So I don't buy into that. They got to stop with that whole they only want culture guy. No, let's bring some talent in. Let that sort out in the locker room. They'll be just fine. And if it's not, you cut them. It's not a big deal.
You're not wrong. Poyer was never meant to play. He was supposed to play the Hyde role. The fact that Rapp played so bad and then got injured tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Do you guys see a huge separation in attitude between Bean and McDermott this year? I feel like McDermott is pissed off about the roster build, which is funny because he has final say over the 53.
Right.
It's his fucking choices.
Right.
You get mad when you dictate to your GM who you want. He's in every offseason meeting. Him and his coaches tell Bean and his team exactly what they want, and they go out and get the guys that they want. Like before everything's signed, McDermott signs off on all of it. So get all pissy about it now because you're trying to throw other people under the bus. Why? Because you made bad calls.
Right. It'd be like Mikey's wife telling him to go out and get these ingredients, writes them on paper. He goes out, gets this ingredients, brings it back. Wife makes the meal, and it's fucking terrible. And then she blames him.
You didn't get the right kind of soup.
I told you. Right? I told you this brand.
No, it said, cheddar cheese soup. I got the Rayleigh's brand versus the Campbell's brand. Oh, my bad.
You didn't say bring him this. You told me you could work with it. Now it's a problem. Oh my God.
Sophie Hamilton says I would never have drafted Atlanta Jackson knowing he had 2 ACLs, especially in the 3rd round. Listen, I didn't realize he had 2 ACLs either.
He did.
Yeah, I didn't know that in the draft process though, because like the medicals weren't out on him like that.
That
absolutely is on Bean and his medical team and McDermott and his team saying yes.
The whole thing. Yeah,
that could be on our medical staff saying don't worry about it. Like there's so many things because we could have grabbed a Watts. Can you imagine having Watts and Bishop back there right now? Right.
And trust me, guys, they're thorough with this stuff. They're not dumb. They go through a very thorough thing on all. You would think, right?
Like like the whole thing that happened with the punt god, they didn't check that. Like there's been many. Like what the hell is our background check team doing?
Well, they said they did they knew about the horizon, but they didn't know. I guess more came out late, but whatever. That's a totally different. I'm not going to blame.
Like other things like that.
But injuries,
a lot of those.
Yeah, but I'm sure they knew. There's no way that got slid under the rug. There's no way. They knew, but that goes back still on Bean, McDermott, the everybody that went, yeah, well, he should be okay. Like, dude, that's a big red flag. That's a big time. And by the way, if you sign him or draft him and it's not a big deal, why wouldn't you have went for Will Johnson, who was a top 10 talent? I mean, what are we doing here?
Why? Because they just take random shots at edge.
Yes, they do. They absolutely
They take raw prospects and think their coaching staff can get them up to speed and get the best out of them. They've hit on a couple, but fail on most of them.
Yeah. I hate to say it too with Jackson, this being his 3rd and major injury. I don't know, man. I it sucks for the guy. I feel for the guy, but that's to bounce back from that, bro, Mikey, at that, especially at his age, not good. It's not good
for elites. Okay. Well, here's the also thing. Did we really need to trade up to go get, another defensive tackle when we could have just sat where we're at and taken that? And then we could have 2 second-round picks?
Yeah, and who cares if he wasn't? Who gives a fuck? There were still players on the board. It was another.
We grabbed the wrong defensive tackle.
Right. Get the wrong guy.
Take Sanders versus Collins.
Yeah. And I don't hate Sanders, by the way. I'm on record. I think Sanders could be
looked really bad.
He did
time before,
but he could be. I still think he could be productive. We'll see.
I hope so.
It's early. I'm not going to kill any of these guys right now. I always say wait about a couple years, 2-3 years for their development before you really put the hammer down and say, oh, no good. But you're right. He struggled early on, but I feel like he could be better, Mikey. I do. But we'll see. Mm-hmm. Time will tell. Time will tell. He's not going anywhere. We're not going to get rid of him.
Yeah, it's wild. He really doesn't know how to use Waddle. Why wouldn't you still want him? Listen, Walter, I'm down for having him. Like, because it wasn't a 1-year rental. You got a kid going into his prime, an elite wide receiver going into his prime. He was absolutely worth a 1 and a 3.
Absolutely, all day, every day.
And they would have eaten the majority of the guarantees to make that deal. So like, it was absolute. Like, he botched that.
He botched it. Yeah,
I don't think it fixed anything this year. Yeah, but going forward, it gives us that elite one that we were missing.
Where you don't need to stress it. Right. Yep. You don't need to go in the offseason and go, damn, what do we do here? Right. Like, so that problem was solved. He's on your team. Right. Like now, okay, now you can focus on other stuff. But now, problem is, now you got to focus on that. You have to. Mikey said, 30 minutes ago, the offseason, you better focus on a receiver. You better focus, because this shit here, you cannot sell it again to the fans, Mikey. That whole marketing campaign they did, everybody eats was a marketing campaign, by the way.
Here's what's going to happen.
Can't do it.
We're going to go on a run, right? We're going to get into the playoffs. The same shit's gonna rear its ugly head, and then we're not gonna focus on offense. We're gonna be like, we're so close on defense. We're gonna spend the whole offseason doing defense, and Brandon Beane's gonna go back out there and say, guys, I get it, but look, we went on the run at the end of the year with these guys.
Doing 30.
We were 30 plus points again at the end of the year. We were the second highest scoring team in the league, or fourth highest scoring team in the league. Like, the offense isn't the problem, and it's gonna be the same bullshit like it has been over year. Since that year we had that 13 seconds year where we had an elite wide receiver room.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything close to that since.
No.
Because they keep trying to fix the defense. Why? Because we have a defensive head coach.
It's been rinse and repeat every season, it seems like. Rinse, repeat. And Mikey's right. Like, we haven't had that kind of offense for a long time. They're not learning their lesson, and they're going by, like Mikey said, like, they're getting caught up in, I think they're getting caught up in the moment of what they remember from, last. Oh, the offense was 30 points, 32 points. We're second in the league. We're first in the, yeah, okay, Brandon, but ultimately that got us where? Here, talking to you. It still didn't. Why is it so hard for you to just admit that we need help? It's not a big deal. It really, I don't understand it. And you know what might happen to, if another fear is, you might be right. Maybe we go on a roll. Gabe Davis gets called up. He makes some plays, and they give him an extension. Or Mecole Hardman, right? Makes some plays, and they sign him, right? Like, these are things that I could definitely see happening. 100%. Because this is what we do, right? We bring back these guys on hope. And that's what it's been, right? They're hoping that Trey White can be, the Trey White of old. And, Gabe Davis can be, the Gabe Davis of the Chiefs game in the play. Like, and listen, I'm not hating the Gabe Davis thing at this point. I'm just, who cares, right? Like, call him up, right? Can't fucking hurt, but he's not the answer. You know what I mean? The answer was there. You had an opportunity. You dropped the ball.
Yeah. Marino Legacy says the rumors I heard with Johnson, he was running 4.647, had degenerative knee. He did, and that's why he fell. I didn't mind the Harrison pick either. Like, honestly, I wanted Amos. I understand the Harrison pick because that speed is game changing.
Mm-hmm.
And but I wanted Amos. I thought Trey Amos was the perfect fit for what we do, and he's doing great in Washington.
Yeah,
but I think Harrison's doing fine here. He just got back. He has 2 picks.
He is. I'm not going to hate the pick yet. Yeah,
like,
he's 2 picks. Yeah.
If the technique catches up with that speed, Harrison's gonna be really good.
Correct.
And I won't hate it.
If the technique, and that's a big, and we'll see. I mean, it's early on. I'm not going to hate on the pick, and that's why I'm not killing the selection. The whole point of bringing up Will Johnson is because if you're going to you're taking a chance on a guy that has 2 ACL injuries to a guy that had 1, and the only other time he went back is to clean it up. And then he had a great year that year. He didn't even get hurt the year he played for Michigan.
They're just saying, but the scan showed degenerative in his knee. That's
I know, but they went in. My point is, they went back in and went and did some like cleaning up so he can go a little bit longer in the NFL. But my point is, even if you got 4 years, 5 years out of him, let's say you got his rookie contract out of him. Okay, great. You got the best out of Will Johnson for 5 years. I'll take it. You know what I mean? Like, that to me is worth more of a gamble than a fucking Landon Jackson who has so much work to do anyways.
Oh, you're talking about taking back-to-back corners?
Yes. Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, so I would have taken Harrison if you want that game-changing speed, and then I would have come back with Amos.
Right. Because then you got 2 guys in the house that one could be a 1. Literally, he could be right next to Benford and actually take that 1, and Benford would be great too. Right? A fucking phenomenal 2.
Or one of them can take over for Taron Johnson down the line, and you can have Benford. And you have 2 guys on rookie contracts that could, figure out how they play together, and then move. There's so many things.
Exactly. And don't tell me it's unheard of because they drafted back-to-back edge 1 year. So it's not like it would be like, why would they do that? Like, they did it with fucking Boogie Bash. Come on.
Yeah, I know Sanders hurt himself, but man, when he got in the game early, he didn't look like he was ready at all. Like he was like he has talent. There's a reason why they moved up to take him, and a lot of people wanted him. Like, So it'll be interesting to see what happens when he gets back and if he can provide anything. I mean, he's got to be better than Jordan Phillips and Mathis. So please get back soon, Sanders, because we need something other than what the hell is going on at defensive tackle.
I think he has upside. I think he has more upside than Landon Jackson, to be honest with you.
Sanders and Walker is probably going to be our defensive tackles in the coming years.
Yeah, I believe that too.
You know, everyone eats, but the buffet's empty. That's the way
it's
looking
Roy.
Right now.
And honestly, bro, that WGR said it, and I was trying to always say that. I've been saying it. It was they said it best when they said marketing slogan, but I've been just saying that's all bullshit anyways. That's just something to mask them getting rid of Diggs and wanting you to Bill's Mafia to go
change this. We're gonna change this.
Don't worry. Like, he's gone.
Josh Allen's gonna make these guys better.
Right,
everybody eats.
Right. Everybody eats.
Excited about more because of the talent. But Jesus, we don't use that talent at all. That's what's so irritating.
And they try to oversell it too, because he's a problem. We're forcing the ball to Diggs. Now Allen can be more comfortable and go everywhere. And look at wow, like now we can really open. And that it sounds like okay, but yeah, you got to get the right guy still in place to do that. You still got to scheme it up right. You can't just say it sounds great, but you're trying to do what the Chiefs are doing, but at least they're scheming it up right. Yeah. And they're getting the right guys involved. You know what I mean? Like, we're not doing it. But so that everybody eats is bullshit.
That's Andy Reid, and Andy Reid's one of the greatest.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but that's what I mean. If you're going to try to do that, where it's like, hey, Pat Mahomes, he lost Tyreek Hill, and look at them, huh? Okay, well, they have fucking Andy Reid. They have he knows how to scheme shit up.
They still have the greatest tight end of all time, and
they still have exactly. So it could work, right? We don't have that.
Yeah, Jared comes and says, I could see if we rotated our corners a lot, but we don't unless we use dime set. We rotate our edges, hence why I understand why they did it. But that goes back to what Tommy's been saying, where he wants to see Bean step out and do something different. Sophie comes and says, my hopes are the lowest they've been since Josh got here. To trust the process, Kool-Aid is worn off. Listen, I'm not nearly where I was at when we were 6-6. I wasn't sure we were going to win another game.
Yeah, that was
season.
That was bad. I'm not gonna lie.
That was my lowest.
That was rough.
I mean,
I don't even want to think about it.
Was after 13 seconds, but like in the middle of a season, the worst I've ever felt is that when we were 6-6, and I was not sure if we were winning another game.
Yeah, I mean I'm with you. Like, that was, I almost forget about it, Mikey, because it was so bad. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't even want to remember it. It was so. I was pissed, dude. I remember us going on after that Denver game live and just were like, it's over. Like, I remember and that was the first time me and Mikey's ever been like, this is it.
Sucks. Amos broke his fibula. That sucks. He was having a really good year.
Oh, dude.
He was having a real good year. That sucks that he's hurt.
Football, brutal.
We got a super chat.
Oh, let me hit that.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, thank you, Moreno's Legacy. We appreciate you. It says, what's the rational pathway to the Super Bowl outside of Allen going alien mode? Is the O-line good enough to carry him to the Super Bowl? Is the O-line no? Is it the O-line's good? What's the rational pathway to the Super Bowl? Is we get healthy with some of these guys when they come back, and we hit. They get out of this super short 1-2 yard quick throws, or Josh completely buys in, hits his back foot and gets it out in that 1 yarder, and the guys will go. But here's part of the problem. Everyone's like, look, he has 1 yard separation there. Get it to him. The guy's head's not turned to Josh. If Josh throws that, it's going to hit him in the back of the fucking head.
Right. Or it's going to be a very minimal gain.
But no, even like there's guys that has 3 yards.
No, I get what you're saying. They're not even looking back a lot of times.
But they're not even looking for the ball that early in the concept. So
correct.
And unless the rational pathway is some of our guys come back. TJ Sanders comes back. He looks good. Benford comes back. He looks good. Hancock takes the step.
Kincaid
comes back healthy and he starts going. We incorporate Gabe and he becomes the Gabe of
here and there. Yeah. He'll throw us right.
And we figure out this passing game. That's the rational way there. And the running game continues being the running game. We don't get stuck in our ways of trying to run it up the gut when it's not working and we try something different. But yeah, I don't think this team is built for the Super Bowl this year. I really don't.
I don't either. I look, anything can happen. Let's take this back. Anything can happen. Let me hit this super chat real quick before I talk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sophie. Look, here's the deal, man, guys. I'm not counting out anything right now because it's still, if you make the playoffs, anything can happen. Anything. It's all about getting hot at the right moment. It's all about, being healthy. I get Mikey's point, and I'm with it, and I agree with that. It's not really a Super Bowl roster. It's not. It's just not. That's facts, okay? That doesn't mean, though, you can't get to a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, right? It's happened before. The Giants are a really good example of a team that went in there, barely got into playoffs, and winded up getting hot at the right moment, right? So I'm not, obviously it's a tough ask, but it could happen. So I'm not totally just going to be like, this team's not going to, I can't do that, right? As long as we get there, there's always an opportunity.
You have Josh. You have Josh.
You got Josh. Yeah, yeah. So I can't just be like, no way. Like, there's always a chance. Is it slim? Honestly, yes. But we'll see what happens. All we can hope for, honestly, and I think the pathway has always been what I've been saying. It has to go through the offense. I don't believe in the defense. I don't care anymore. This offense has to figure it out. If they get hot at the right time, which is hopefully now going into the playoffs, maybe, just maybe, Mikey, we can make some noise. If not, and we just kind of get in there, I see zero path if that's the route. Or you know what I mean? If we just kind of, go in there and fumes, you know what I mean? Like barely, it's over.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
Joe Hamilton says every time Kincaid gets going, he gets hurt. Bean keeps drafting players that are injury prone. Listen, Bean, there was no injury history with Kincaid coming out of college. No one expected him to get hurt. That's not a Bean issue. That's a player issue.
Yeah, he was fine in college, guys. So that's
it's bad luck. Injury history. That one, and the players need to get bigger and stronger.
Right. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Been saying it since the offseason. They're going to load up on defense again by getting younger at linebacker,
which they should.
Depth at the edge and defensive tackle. They do need Johnson replacement and a complement to Cole. Yeah.
Which all that is very true, Jarek. And I'm not saying don't stop, adding to the defense. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm telling you that the pathway, though, right now, as we sit today, is going through the offense. That's it. It's just not working right now. So.
Oh God, I'm with you on this one, Jarek. If the pass rush depth was healthy, I would have given this a better chance at the Super Bowl. We had a really deep, good pass rush.
Early
yeah,
on. Right?
but then Hoyt got hurt and's gone for the year. Oliver's gone for the year. Yeah. Then Epinesa gets a concussion by hitting Mahomes too hard. Like, what are we doing?
What's going on here? Right? We got guys getting hurt and tackling dummies the year before. Like, we can't shake the injury bug, guys. It is just hovering over this team. Let me hit that real quick.
Thank you very much.
I love this take. Marino comes in and says the 23 Chiefs lost to Aiden O'Connell's freaking Raiders on Christmas. They looked horrible, losing 20-14. They can 100% get to the big game. They can. Anybody can. They can go on a run.
Exactly.
We've seen it. Like the Eli Manning's Giants beat the unbeatable Tom Brady Patriots in the undefeated
17-0.
year,
Yeah,
and they
undefeated.
snuck in the wild card.
They were
and that's how they got
19-0.
there.
Yeah.
Like they were almost like a 500 team. They're like 1 or 2 games over 500.
They barely got
in, and then went on a run.
Yep, they just squeaked in. So it happens, guys. Yep.
Scott, I like your optimism. I just can't do it anymore.
Scott, you know what though, Scott? You will, because, and I said this earlier before you came on. No matter what, guys, like, look, man, I've been through way worse. I'm passionate about my Buffalo Bills. That's why we do what we do here, and Mikey is too. No matter how upset Mikey gets or me, like
I love
the
him,
Bills
and I'm
are
gonna root for him.
No matter what, I've been through way worse. Once again, I went through 4 Super Bowls of heartache. I went through 17 years of no playoffs, and I still am a fan. I still didn't watch. I still continue to watch.
Yeah.
So it's not changing now, right? I'm just not going that route. I'm not saying for you guys to think, my way, but I don't think you will. I think you'll be here talking Bills football.
I think they've let him down.
Oh, they let all of us down. So
they let you down. But if they get on a roll and Josh starts looking like he did,
he'll win you back.
They'll win you back.
Yeah. Oh, you got another one here?
Yep.
Shit,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep, we appreciate the super chat. It depends on if TJ Sanders and Fox can be solid replacements for Hoyt and Oliver. It can still be a Super Bowl pass rush. You're not wrong. My biggest issue with the defense, if those 2 guys do come in and actually hit, is our linebackers. And I never thought I would say that with a Matt Milano linebacker in there. Like, can they get healthy enough to really make an impact? Because that's what we're missing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jarek, Davis Webb, reload the defense, retool the O-line is what's going to happen. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get a wide receiver early, but I doubt it. Like, listen, I'm open for Davis Webb to come in. Like, him and Josh have a really good relationship. He was also here during the Dayball year, so he understands what it is. Reload the defense, okay. I don't believe McDermott will change the scheme, so I'm not overly big on that. Retool the offensive line, we're going to have to, because we're going to end up losing our center and our left guard. So
left guard, who cares? Yeah, you need to figure that out, though. Yep. But McGovern, you better hope SVP is ready to go.
Or draft
one. Yeah, I get that. But SVP, I feel, is the guy they've been really working with to be that replacement.
If Cromer believes it, I'll believe it.
Exactly. Yeah. If they don't draft the center, you know why. Right.
Because here's the thing: if they come back and they sign McGovern to a decent to larger deal, that means we're not re-signing Torrance. Only one of them is getting the deal.
See, I'm giving Torrance the deal over McGovern. I think I have more faith that
only one of them's getting it. So
yeah, I think you give it to the younger guy. I think that would be a mistake. I like McGovern, but you give it to the younger guy who still has upside, and you get Cromer to be honest about SVP, and if he's not ready, you either go out and get a free agent that's a veteran for another year, that's a solid vet, you know what I mean, that could fill in for at least a year if you're still working with SVP, or you draft a center and say, fuck it, SVP is not the guy.
There's a lot of them in here. Tommy, it's 7 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Yeah. 7 your time, 10 my time. So guys, I got to get going to work. Let me hit some. Listen, guys. I'm sorry that we missed some of your chats. You guys were great tonight. Appreciate all you guys.
It's another reason why I made sure when I got home I jumped right on, because
I appreciate you.
This last week was the same thing. I need to get on as soon as I get home to make sure that we get enough of these in there, because the chat's always lit. Like, they want to talk about this. They want to get through it.
I was working with the chat. I didn't even get to my thing before you. I was just like, da, 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 da. So guys, I appreciate you guys once again for rocking with us every Friday night. There's one more Friday night where we start at 8, which is next week. But then after that, we move right back to 9 o'clock. So appreciate you guys once again rocking with us. We're going to get the Real Men of Genius, and then we're getting out of here. All right. Real Men of Genius. Here we go. What do I got for you? All right. What do I get?
And while you're looking that up, I'll just say, I wouldn't be surprised to see us make, not for Jarek, I wouldn't be surprised to see us make a deal for an AJ Brown or Jalen Waddle or someone like that in the offseason, trying to get an actual one in here. You know, I can see us doing that rather than trying to go the draft route, because honestly, to this point, outside of Khalil, who was a late round guy, and Gabe, who was a day 3 guy, I'm not overly fond that they know how to draft receivers.
No, I'm with you. And AJ Brown's an interesting name, but they're going to have to understand that
he's going to want the ball.
He's going to want the ball. He's going to be a lot. He's going to bring that kind of Stephon Diggs. He's going to say what he's going to say.
I hope they make the deal for Waddle and the offseason.
No, I'm with you. But once again, he's going to say what he's going to say, you know? So you got to either accept it or you got to figure it out either way. So, all right, let's get to these, and then I got to go, guys.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real Men of Genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Hot Dog Eating Contest contestant.
Mr. Hot Dog Eating Contest contestant.
What does it take to eat 24 hot dogs in 12 minutes?
I
Determination,
tried.
fortitude, and a complete disregard for what they actually put in a hot dog.
Open wide.
How many times have we said, sure, 1 hot dog is nice, but 47 more would really hit the spot?
Get me to a bathroom.
What's for dessert? 9 pounds of antacids, 1 bleeding ulcer, and 7 hours of routine angioplasty.
My left arm feels tingly.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, oh diplomat of the dog, because our appetite for you will never be satisfied.
Mr. Hot Dog Eating Contest contestant.
Bud Light beer, Anheuser-Busch.
St. Louis, Missouri. Brian, I would love for that to be the case, but I don't think either one of their teams is going to let that guy go. JMO or Garrett?
No.
Wilson?
No, not happening. Let's see here.
Real Men of Genius for the win.
All right, last one, and we're out of here, guys. Here we go.
Bud Light
a video
presents Real Men of Genius.
Real Men of Genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Way Too Much Cologne Wearer.
Mr. Way Too Much Cologne Wearer.
Like a bullhorn, your cologne announces your every arrival 4 blocks before you get there.
Here he comes now.
Here a splish, there a splash, everywhere a splish splash. You don't stop till every square inch of manhood is covered.
Everywhere a splish splash.
Overslept and haven't got time to shower? Not to worry. You've got 4 gallons of cologne and a plan.
Going on.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Mr. Way Too Much Cologne Wearer, because we think we smell a winner.
Mr. Way Too Much Cologne Wearer.
Is that you, Mikey? Way too much?
No, not at all.
They
By the
smell
way,
you coming.
Dopey says she's trying to see you eat a hot dog eating contest. You wait for it.
I actually, no. So last year, I did one with Miles, and I did 5 in 5 minutes. So not too bad. Still not terrible. 5 in 5 minutes, not awful. Anyways, guys, we got to go. Appreciate you guys once again rocking with us. I'll be on tomorrow at 12. Oh, I'm dreading it. AFC East Shakedown. Curtis is going to kill me. They're going to laugh at me. They're going to all laugh at me. Yeah. So,
take it.
Well, we love you guys, and we're out of here. Bills Mafia, you guys rule. Go Bills. Peace.
Go Bills.
Just let your soul go. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul, baby, feel it all.